In this video, I will show you how we can migrate port-based rule to app-based rule in Palo Alto Firewall. The first thing, this is our lab topology where we have inside zone LAN where we have PC1, and we have a DMZ zone where we have two servers. In this case, we're gonna use server 1 with the IP address 10.0.4.1 and PC1 10.0.1.1. And we have a firewall. Previously, we configure a security policy LAN to DMZ and we allow everything. So first we will convert that LAN to DMZ policy to port base, the typical one. And then after that we will migrate port base rule to app base rule, which we will discuss. There are 3 steps to migrate from port base rule to app base rule. So the zone, we have LAN and DMZ. In this case, in this lab, we're gonna use LAN zone interfaces 1/3 and DMZs 1/4. Both are layer 3 type zone. Security policy, which we will utilize as a LAN to DMZ, and the services we will test HTTP, HTTPS, SSH, which is port 80, 443 and 22. The first thing we need to create a services with the name SSH, which is a TCP, and the destination port will be 22. That's the first step. We need to create this one. After that, we need to go to our security policy, which we already have LAN to DMZ, and we will convert that any policy, and we will put services HTTP, HTTPS. These are by default there, and the SSH we just created. After that, we will commit the changes. Okay. Now we create a policy port base, and we will test them from the LAN PC to access 10.0.4.1, which is basically this DMZ server. Okay, and we will test them, and also we will do SSH with the root and 10.0.4.1, again this server, and we will do SSH as well, and the username is root and password is GNS3. After that, okay, you need to wait some time. We can verify the logs. From here, the traffic logs, you will see SSH web browsing as well. Now we have a port base rule already. Now we need to convert this port base to application base. For that, we need to go to optimizer. We discuss about optimizer, new app view. However, here keep in mind, maybe these services are not showing. It normally take 1 hour to show. Okay, so if it is, maybe I written somewhere or not. Okay, so we need to check. Maybe I need to mention this point that is taking time. Some, yeah, it's here. Wait until 1 hour at least. Sometime you will not see because these new application and the optimizer, keep in mind. And after that, we will convert this one, and we can disable the port base rule. We can delete them. It's up to you. We discussed 3 steps. Okay, so we will create the new port base, sorry, the app base rule, and after that we can delete the existing one, and we will commit the changes, and then we can verify the new policy, which is app base. These are the steps we need to follow. So let's start. The first thing, we need to create SSH services. So let's go to our firewall. This is our lab topology. I already accessed this HQ firewall. Okay, and we already have, by the way, this policy. If you remember, we previously create LAN to DMZ. So from LAN to DMZ, however, there is no user, no devices, and even no application and no services. Okay, and now you can see, so yes, we already created this one. However, to start, first we need to go to object, and there is services. So by default, you will find these 2 services, HTTP and HTTPS. We need to create a new services. So let me give them, by the way, services SSH. Okay, and destination port is 22, and this is a TCP base okay protocol, and click OK. So my new services are ready. This is the first thing we need to do. Now I need to go to policy. Okay, and we discuss we need to modify this one, LAN to DMZ. Click on LAN to DMZ. Okay, so source is okay, which is LAN, destination is DMZ. Application we are not using right now, application, because we will convert this port base to app base. Go to services, and the services add a service HTTP, service HTTPS, and services SSH we just created. Okay, that's it, and we need to click OK. Now our new rule is ready, which is a port based rule, service based rule. Okay, and commit the changes. So when commit the changes, after that we need to test them from our inside PC. LAN to DMZ, we already create this rule. Okay, we need to test them. However, we need to wait for a while. So commit the changes. When it's done, now I need to open this internal PC. Let's go to internal PC. Yeah, it's here. Okay, and let me go to my internal PC, which is 10.0.1.1. Yeah, it's done. Okay, 99%, which means it's done. And here I need to type this IP 10.0.4.1. Okay, so let's type 10.0.4.1, and I can access this server from LAN to DMZ using HTTP. Okay, similarly I need to open a command prompt, and here type SSH, root is the user, at 10.0.4.1, I think so it's 4.1. Yeah, 10.0.4.1, and hit enter, and password is GNS3 and hit enter. Now I log into this server 10.0.4.1 through SSH. Okay, so I done SSH and HTTP, by the way, these two, and we already have a policy. It will hit this policy, LAN to DMZ unit 68, and I can go to monitor as well, and we can verify from here, and you can see LAN to DMZ. So if I click this one, let's make them more simple. So from LAN to DMZ 10.0.1.10, which is this one, by the way, sorry, yeah, and 10.0.4.1. So we access web browsing. You can see LAN to DMZ, and also we done SSH, LAN to DMZ, and it's utilized this port based rule which we created, LAN to DMZ. We have port base. You see services HTTP, HTTPS, and SSH. Now it's okay, but this, as we discussed, is a port base. Now we need to convert this port base to app based security policy rule. For that we need to go to our policy. We already in the policy, and down there is a policy optimizer, and the policy optimizer, the first thing is new app viewer. Click on that one. However, if it is not showing you LAN to DMZ, if seen, they say 4 new application we see. If it is not showing to you, you need to wait up to 1 hour. After 1 hour, you're gonna see this one. Okay, in my case is there. Now what I need to do, I need to go click on this one. I am interested in this one, LAN to DMZ, and there is 4 application: SSH, web browsing, ping, and traceroute. We are interested in these two, SSH and web browsing. Okay, so it's okay. It means they identify that these applications are there. However, the policy is based on the services. Now I need to click on the compare this one. Okay, and what I need to do, I need to create a new policy. Okay, and for which application which I'm interested is SSH and web browsing. After that, there is create clone rule. Here is, okay, application. By application you can create a group of these. Anyway, I'm just saying application, and here give them a name. Suppose a LAN to DMZ, and I will give them a name, suppose app, so that we know that this is app based. Previously there is a LAN to DMZ, and I'm interested only in these 2 application, and click OK. Now what they done, basically they create, if I go back to security, and on the top of LAN to DMZ, they create LAN to DMZ app, a new clone copy. However, this copy is not enough, because they create application, also they create a services. I'm not interested in services, so click to open this one, okay, and go to services. That I don't need the services, delete the service from the clone copy. Keep in mind, only SSH and web browsing is left in the application. Okay, now you can see the old one is based on the services, this is based on the application, and they know the application. It's a good policy optimizer told us that these application we see on that one. Now commit the changes. Okay, now commit the changes. However, if you want, you can straight away, you can delete this new this one. Normally what we do, we need to, what is this there is head count on the old one. Yeah, what you need to do, reset this head count on the selected one. There is 0, and also there is nothing seen on this one. Okay, so basically you need to follow those 3 steps in the real world. In the lab, I can straight away delete the second. I know these 2 applications are there, but anyway, let's follow the steps. Okay, so I select and I delete the head count so that I can see that there is more head count coming on the old policy or not. Okay, so let them complete, and now let's go back and do the same thing again. So let me refresh this one, and let's go to here, exit from here, and CLS, clear the screen, and let's do SSH again and GNS3. So now I done SSH again, and let me exit, and let's go back. Okay, and you can see now the heads are coming on the new policy head count, and there is no head count on the old policy because this is on the top, and now we done SSH and web browsing, so let's hit this one. Okay, you can see this one, and also we can verify from the monitor tab. And here this time it's hit not the old one, LAN to DMZ, LAN to DMZ by app. There is app we return. So port 80, and there is SSH. Okay, the SSH one is not yet here. So it should be here as well. The SSH has come up now with the new rules. So now it's hitting our new policy by app. Okay, rather than the application. And there is no head coming on the old one. You need to watch this for a while, maybe a week or 2 in the real world. And after that, when you are sure that there is no more heads coming on the old policy, okay, so what you can do, you can disable them. That's the proper way. Just disable them and watch for another week. And after that, if you are sure that there is nobody complains, so what you can do, you can simply delete this policy. Just click delete and delete this old policy. And now we have a new policy by app, and commit the changes, and we are done. So this is the way, okay, to convert and migrate from the port based rule to policy base. And we discussed this theoretically. There are 3 steps, and we can use policy optimizer, okay, to identify the new application on that policy. That's it. If we go down, if I miss something, I believe that's it. And we verify the application, and after that we clone the new policy by app. We delete the security, we delete the what is called the services, and after that, yeah, this deleted. We commit the changes, and next we test them again. There is no more heads coming on the old policy, which is down, and after that we disable them, keep disable and watch, and then finally we delete them. Okay, and there is no complaint, and that's it. And this way we migrate port based rule to app based rule.